The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's version of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on from the mayors and the supervisors in the municipalities that we cover. This week we'll be starting off with John Moffett in the town of Mendon. John, how are we doing in Mendon?
Hi, Chris. As always, thanks for having us today. I just wanted to mention a few things today. First of all, I wanted to thank Post 664 for doing a great job on Veterans Day. The Veterans Day ceremony, which I attended and many other people did. It was great to see a nice group of people there for that. And we did have a nice crowd show up for the luncheon at the community center afterwards, which was open to all of our veterans and their families. So it was a nice crowd there as well. So we appreciate everybody who attended both events. Wanted to mention that on Monday, November 15th, there is a public hearing at the town board meeting regarding the fire protection district. And that, of course, like all of our meetings, you can attend in person or via Zoom. And we also are going to be scheduling a couple of public hearings. One is going to be regarding cannabis. I know that's been spoken about by other mayors and supervisors on this venue, but we will also be taking a look at that just for people's information. And it just seems a lot easier for me to follow when you think of it as being, everyone is opted in by the state automatically. So each municipality can opt out. There's two parts of it. One would be more like a bar, where it would be somewhere where you could go, kind of like a cigar room bar type thing, where you could go and partake in cannabis. Another one is more like a traditional liquor store, where you would go and buy various things, and then you can take them home. Neither opt-out possibility of an opt-out would affect people possession or growing their own. So we've got quite a bit of information from the Association of Towns as well as the State Comptroller's office, but this is a very complicated item, and we'll probably be scheduling a public hearing for December. So I would ask that anybody who's interested in participating in that public hearing, either in person, virtually, or they can email me, go to the Town of Mendon's website and email me, and I'll make sure any emails that I receive are put into the public record. The other public hearing that we'll be considering is regarding tourist homes and bed and breakfasts. This is, as you know, something that's come up a lot more in the recently, and we want to address that in our town code. We are also going to be moving in 2022 regarding sidewalks during the 2021 year. I got a lot of responses from people about sidewalks in and around the hamlet. So we're going to be looking at sidewalks as far as extending sidewalks. Where would they go? What would they lead to? We've got a couple of challenging portions of that. And that is if we go east on 251 up towards Mendon Farms, it is, the geography there is going to be quite expensive. And if we go to the south towards the Mendon Firehouse, there again, both are state roads, and just the fact that we've got those big hills there, it's going to be very interesting. So those are two of the areas that we'll be considering, as well as some others in and around the hamlet. Let's see. And that pretty much covers it for the town of Mendon. Thanks for having me, Chris.
All right. Thanks, John. Rick, Village of Honeoye Falls, how are we doing there?
We're doing great, Chris. And again, thank you. As John just said, I'm going to dovetail a little bit into a couple things one of the things that John talked about also. The Village of Honeoye Falls will also be having dialogue at this month's meeting, as well as the December meeting, where we probably will also have a public hearing regarding cannabis. As John already mentioned, and I know Supervisor Falk has talked about this as well, all the municipalities, and I'm just going to repeat what John said, all the municipalities are automatically opted in. They have the ability to opt out. Now, if you opt out, you do have the ability to opt in later, but if you do not opt out now, you do not have the ability to opt out later. So that's one of the things that the municipalities have to take into consideration. We have been contacted, I've been contacted by a couple of individuals who are very interested in actually opening a dispensary in the community. So this is very prudent for the village, certainly, that if we want to act on this, we have to act on it. All the municipalities have to act on it by the end of the year. And it's kind of funny because the state is not ready with all its legislation. As a matter of fact, the board, the cannabis board, if you will, was recently put together. They have not made any true determination of the real rules and regulations that we're going to have to follow, yet the municipalities have to make their decision before the end of the year if they're going to opt out. So it's a little bit of a backwards scenario, much like the 2% tax cap was and some of the other things, but that's the type of thing we have to deal with the state. So the village will be talking about this at both of our next 2 monthly meetings, and we invite those people interested to voice their opinion as well. They can email me, mayor@villageofhoneoyefalls.org, or you can email village@villageofhoneoyefalls.org and voice your opinion one way or the other. We're, again, as John said, we'll enter everything into the records, and we just want to try to cover this base as best we can. Aside from that, the village is very active preparing for winter. It's right around the corner. The weather's starting to change. We know we'll be plowing before too long, so we're trying to get all those leaves picked up, all the plow trucks ready, etc. And we're doing pretty well with that. But one of the things that's putting us a little bit behind is our wonderful COVID process that continues to rear its head every place. We actually have 2 DPW members who, one is out under COVID protocols because their children have COVID. So now they're under COVID protocols, but then we have another DPW employee that has been diagnosed as positive. We hope that person obviously gets well quickly. We've done all our tracing and we're testing our employees regularly, and we have no concern with any public interaction. But it's something that every time we turn around, whether it's family related or work related, that COVID thing seems to rear its ugly head again. So that continues to be a struggle for us, but we work through it. And luckily everyone else steps up and does their part to get us through and get the work done that we need to get done. And then lastly, I just want to also, again, John mentioned the Veterans Day celebration. I just want to give kudos to the town. Of course, our Honeoye Falls Post 664 and their efforts each and every year. It's such a wonderful ceremony at the Four Corners. But then the town puts on a wonderful lunch up at the community center for all veterans and their families. And they just do a fantastic job. And I know all of our communities work hard to do this, to do something for our veterans, but kudos to the town for the program they've had in place for a lot of years, because it really means a lot to our veterans and their families. So John, thank you to you and your team. And again, Chris, thanks for having us on today. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Rick. Mike, how about the town of Lima? What are we doing there?
Well, we're enjoying the sunshine this afternoon. The Livingston County budget is in tentative form now, and this coming Wednesday, the Board of Supervisors will be having the public hearing and considering it. Right now, mostly due to increased sales tax revenue, the budget will be a decrease in both the the rate and the levy for 2022. The average home in Livingston County is assessed at $135,227, and that home will see a decrease of $29. Operation Greenlight continues. We've got the front of the town hall greened out, and I would encourage everyone to plant those green lights and keep them going. Veterans Day, of course, is past, but we still have veterans that are struggling and getting out of the military and facing all kinds of suicide pressure. So please keep your support coming. Lima VFW Post 26 is going to be holding its annual Veterans Collection on Saturday, December 4th here at the Town Hall. The collection is for personal items for veterans who are in hospitals and nursing homes. All of them, the things collected, have to be in original packaging. Please do not bring homemade or home-baked items. We can't accept them. Things like toiletries, brushes for hair and teeth, underwear, socks, those sorts of things, all packaged from the store, are what we typically take in. Then we will divide them up and pass them out as fast as we can get them out. And that's all I've got today, Chris.
All right. Well, it was a short day, a short week, I should say, for everybody. Anybody remember something they might have forgotten to say?
Nope, all set.
Seeing none, thank you all for watching. Remember, we're here every Sunday at 1 o'clock on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. Otherwise, if you missed that, you can read it in the paper, where we'll run the entire transcript and maybe even include some information from people who weren't able to make it right now. All right. Bye-bye for now. We'll see you next week.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.